Okay, Cushman update. Yes, the controller is out. That's the old Curtis 209B. That will become important. Sockets are on sale at Canadian Tire if you're in Canada. Half price. Pick these up today. Needed some bigger half-inch drives. Okay, back here. So last time we had the motor running with a jumper in the back. 12-volt battery. We know the motor worked. Hooked everything back up with the old controller and the old potentiometer speed control. Nothing worked. Okay, we got new parts. So we put in the new speed controller. Still didn't work. So we replaced the motor controller. Still no go. Turns out that this old motor controller was turned on with 12 volts. This wire here goes through the main contactor, powers the main contactor on after going through the key switch and the throttle. And it powered on the main contactor and powered on the motor controller at 12 volts. Well, this new controller requires at least 16 volts, so it didn't work. So we got a jumper wire on the power. This side of our contactor right here goes battery, fuse, this side of the contactor. So 48 volts right there, or 50, whatever. And it's hooked on to the power on for the motor controller. The top pin, the bottom two pins are the throttle. Okay. So now we got 48 volts on the motor controller. Key on, forward. Heard our contactors click for forward. Forward. Reverse. That's all it was. We weren't given the new motor controller the voltage it needed to power on. So we're going to add in another relay, smaller relay, power on the motor controller when you turn on the key, which is what is recommended. Then when you press on the throttle, you connect the main contactor and the motor will go. That gives the controller a few milliseconds to power it on and get ready to go. That's how it's supposed to be hooked up. But the old controller didn't need it. This guy just powered on with 12 volts. This one does not. That's the only difference. All the other wires are hooked up the same kind of throttle, everything. But you've got to give this one the power it needs to turn on. And there's several videos on YouTube saying these new controllers are a direct replacement. And in some situations they will be. Because even for this old controller, it was recommended to normally use the full battery power on the power on. But this Cushman only used the 12. So that's an upgrade we got to make. And with that, we got our powertrain running. Go. Key back on. Forward. Yeah, spinny, spinny, which is what we needed to move forward. Might be a while now before we get another video because we got a lot of work to do to clean this up before we put it back together.